May 30th, 1964. The Indianapolis 500 explodes, literally, in fire and chaos. Two drivers are gone, the track is scorched, and at the heart of the wreckage, a new kind of engine that was supposed to change everything? Ford's 649B. The media called it dangerous. The old guard called it heresy. But the truth? This wasn't just an engine, it was a revolution. Built by a Scottish sheep farmer, a Detroit rebel, and a British madman who believed they could beat America at its own game. This is the story of how one engine terrified an entire nation, and then conquered it. For decades, Indy was ruled by the mighty front-engine Roadsters, raw, loud, and all-American. The Offenhauser dynasty was untouchable. Their engines roared like thunder. Every race felt like a patriotic sermon in horsepower and noise. But then, something alien rolled onto the track. A small, sleek green car, the Lotus 29, built by the eccentric genius Colin Chapman. It didn't rumble, it whispered, and it didn't belong here. At least that's what everyone thought. Under its hood, a Ford Fairlane 289 pushrod V8, tweaked, tuned, and ready to disrupt the order. Behind the wheel, a soft-spoken farmer from Scotland who drove like he could see physics, Jim Clark. Clark wasn't your typical racer. He wasn't brash. He wasn't loud. He didn't trash talk. He was smooth, surgical. A man who felt every vibration through the steering wheel like a heartbeat. Mechanics said he could feel piston rings wearing out. By the time he landed at Indy in 1963, he'd already conquered Europe. 7 Formula One Grand Prix wins. He wasn't there to play tourist. He was there to destroy an empire. And Ford? They were done watching from the sidelines. VP Leo Beebe made it clear. Build an engine that humiliates them. That command lit a fire under Detroit. The Lotus Ford wasn't supposed to stand a chance. It was smaller, lighter, and, in racing terms, underpowered. The 289 pushrod engine made just 375 horsepower on regular gasoline, while others ran methanol monsters. But what it lacked in brute force, it made up for with aerodynamics, efficiency, and brains. Chapman's mid-engine design changed the balance completely. Less drag, better cornering, fewer pit stops. The Americans laughed until lap 100. That funny-looking British machine was suddenly leading laps. Every old-school mechanic on pit lane felt a chill, because this wasn't supposed to happen, and yet it was happening. For 200 brutal laps, Clark hunted Parnelli Jones, the cowboy of Indy, his front-engine Watson Roadster spewing oil like a wounded beast. Under today's rules, Jones would have been black-flagged for leaking. But 1963 wasn't about fairness. It was about pride. The officials let him run. Clark kept pushing. Lap after lap, the Lotus was smoother through turns, lighter on fuel, deadlier in rhythm. Fans couldn't believe their eyes. A foreign car was threatening to beat America's best. By the final lap, Clark was only seconds behind. He crossed the line in second. He didn't win, but Indy had changed forever. The roar of the Roadsters faded that day, and the whisper of the mid-engine began. Ford and Lotus hadn't just built a fast car. They'd exposed the cracks in Indy's foundation. The old ways couldn't keep up with evolution. The pushrod 289 was nearing its limits, sure, but it had proven something terrifying, that intelligence could beat brute strength. Ford's engineers were already working on the next monster, the DOHC 649B, a masterpiece that would soon rewrite the record books. And Jim Clark? He wasn't done either. 2 years later, in 1965, he came back and won the Indianapolis 500 outright, lapping almost the entire field. The future had arrived, and it had a Ford badge on it. The 649B wasn't just an engine, it was a philosophy. It represented the moment American racing stopped being about muscle and started being about engineering. Every modern Indy car, every Formula One hybrid system, every aerodynamic revolution, It all traces back to that one clash of cultures in the 1960s. Europe's precision met America's horsepower, and out of that collision came progress. It's easy to forget now that everything is carbon fiber and computers, but in 1964, men risked their lives to prove ideas. Some paid the price, others changed the world. And in that fire, on that terrible day, a new era was born. Jim Clark would go on to become one of the greatest drivers who ever lived. Colin Chapman would reshape the very concept of a racing car. And Ford, they proved that innovation isn't just about speed, it's about courage. So the next time you see an Indy car slicing through the air at 230 miles per hour, remember the engine that started it all, the one that scared everyone until it didn't. If stories like this fire you up, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. And the next story might be even louder.